Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for the Broadcasters Roundtable. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck and NECBL All-Star broadcaster representing the Northern Division. He's also the voice of the Vermont Mountaineers, Jasper Goodman. Dave, we'll start with you. Newport coming off a very impressive win last night, 3-2 over Plymouth. Andrew Dashbach paced Newport's offense in that game. He went 3 for 4, had a 2-run home run over the right field fence. A huge momentum play, a huge momentum win for this Newport team entering the final week of the season.
I think if there's one thing that we can take away from this season is that this team, and it sounds cliche, but this team, was always grinding. As much as, it was a tough season for the Gulls historically, this team was always going out there and putting their best foot forward and competing. And these last 7-8 games that they have of the season, yes, they're technically out of the playoffs now, but it's going to come down to, competing and taking it pitch by pitch and enjoying these last week and a half with the guys.
This is the final home game at Cardines Field for Newport during the regular season. You can certainly feel a little extra sort of emotion in the ballpark as you walk into Cardines Field here tonight.
Definitely is. Some of the media crew, some of the other interns, we had meetings with, Tom and Shan. We talked about them earlier in the broadcast, kind of breaking down where we go from here. I've seen players, asking other players for autographs. Just, you never know, who's going to go where after you finish up a season with a team that has players of such talent. So people signing a lot of pictures for probably their hosts. So there's definitely a little extra sentimental value to this one.
Newport 14-22 entering play here tonight. Just 8 games remain on the regular season schedule for the Gulls, but still a chance for Newport to get back to 500. Fair to say that's probably the goal for this team the rest of the way.
Yeah, definitely the goal, and they took the first step towards that as they're no longer in last place in that Southern Division. So, things can still go up from here. At this point, they're just going to try and enjoy Newport, enjoy each other's presence for one last time, and hopefully get a few more wins.
Jasper, this is a big game here tonight for Vermont, a team that is 17-23 entering play here tonight. 2.5 games behind the Keene Swamp Bats. Does it have that must-win sort of feel to it?
Well, I feel like we've kind of been saying this for the last week or so now, but all these games down the stretch at this point for the Mountaineers are must-win because you look at the standings and the elimination number for them is 3. And so basically how it works is 3 Vermont losses will knock them out, but 3 Keene wins could also knock them out, or a combination of such. So everything going forward is obviously hugely important for this team if they want to extend their season into August. And, as the days in the season dwindle here, that looks more and more unlikely. But a couple of wins could put them back into contention here because it's a really tight race for that third and final spot in the NECBL Northern Division.
It's been a Vermont team that has struggled offensively this year. The Mountaineers hitting an NECBL low 230 team batting average. Jasper, what have you seen from this offense?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of guys who have had spurts where they've come alive and really looked like impressive hitters with impressive swings. And I know that guys have been working on stuff throughout the season, but they just really haven't been able to find the consistency in general to be able to put them fully into contention and bring those team batting numbers up. You said it, the RBI numbers are down, the runs scored is down, and the team batting average is dwindled in the latter part of the season as well. It's been a tough go of it offensively.
One of those guys for Vermont that has had a lot of offensive success thus far, Jesse Forrestel, the Western Michigan product. He's tied for the team lead in hits with 30, but does have the team's highest batting average at 283. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, well, Jesse Forrestel has really been the lone piece of consistency in the middle of that order. You usually see him batting cleanup, maybe 5th sometimes, and behind the dish for the Mountaineers, and sometimes he DHs to give his legs a rest, as the Mountaineers have 3 catchers on the roster. But, yeah, you said it. Forrestel, his approach has been excellent at the plate this season. He's a really, really patient hitter. He almost never swings at the first pitch. He's not afraid to get behind in counts. He's really good with 2 strikes on him, and he's a good fighter at the plate. He fights a lot of tough pitches off with 2 strikes, waits for something he likes, and he's able to slap a lot up the middle, and that's been the key to his success. He's also among the league leaders in walks, which has helped his on-base percentage a lot.
Vermont added a few new players to its roster. Jasper, is that to kind of create a different look, or are these much-needed additions to this team?
Well, honestly, I mean, you have a couple of roster spots to play with, or the Mountaineers did, and yesterday was the last day to add guys. So I think it's kind of a sense of why not. You've got Vermont guys who are talented players. They just added a kid, Dylan Bailey, a shortstop out of my hometown of Waterbury, Vermont, who goes to Castleton University. It was a great offensive piece for Castleton, who won their conference this year. So, I mean, you had those spots open. It's not like you're going to be recruiting Division I, top-tier Division I guys at this point. So you took the guys that you had available and you added some depth to the roster. I think that's kind of the thinking there.
First pitch between Vermont and Newport set for 6:35 p.m. For Dave Peck and Jasper Goodman, I'm Darren Zaslow. Don't go anywhere. The Newport Gulls pregame show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.